This is Hardy Brute, and today I'm going to be playing Savara. This game is very similar to Hades, to Rogue Loops, to a bunch of games, but I think this game blows all those other games out of the water. I think it has the best setup for all these games.
Here we go.
So you start the run by choosing 4 different types of weapons: a big club, slow attack, 2 quick blades, a long katana-like sword, or a sword and shield. The slow and the quick is what you start with, and I think those are my favorite so far. So let's get the bleeding and see what we get. Heavy attacks do 4% extra damage, or you do damage when you swap weapons. The swap isn't a lot of damage, so I'd rather go for the heavy. All weapons have a quick attack and a charged up heavy attack. With our club, we charge it up, and we slam it down. So whenever we use that ability, it's going to do extra damage as bleed, which really adds the payoff of charging it up. As you fight the enemies, you break off pieces of them, and they get stunned. There's a little white bar underneath them. And that's when we can use the heavy attack. Each enemy has a set of attack patterns that they do and you learn, so the game ends up feeling more like Souls after a while. There's also a stamina system, which you use to dodge, to attack, to do everything. So in that aspect, it's also like Souls. The red stars are the meta progression, and the K gold is for the market shops that we find right before the boss. This game is pretty fun because the traps also hurt the enemies, so you can kind of kite them around the traps if you really want to. That mushroom locks itself into a double attack, so if you avoid just the first attack, you're always going to get smacked that second time. When you switch weapons on the fly, you also gain a burst of stamina for doing that. So the game really encourages you to switch weapons and change your playstyle. Each weapon also does a charged up, like, ultimate ability, once you get enough damage off. But there is quite a bit of progression in the game as well. You find hidden items, little trinkets. I really like the dagger's quick change too, because she just lunges forward and does a bunch of damage. But you find trinkets, you find items you can equip that give you special abilities. A lot of times it's to do more damage with high health or low health, or you break off items faster so they'll stun faster. Things of that nature. There's also a level up and an evolution system for your weapons, yourself, and the armor you have. So let's check out Devotion. It increases your damage by 15% for your basic attack and your strong attack. It can stack up to 5 times. And the way it works is it drops a little symbol on the ground that you have to pick up. And I think that'd be best when we're swapping weapons. I don't have a ton of progression more than the baseline at the moment, so the game comes down to a lot more of reading their attacks and dodging their attacks, finding your little window. I'm going to collect the money because there's always a market before the final boss. And right here is the mini boss. I've only fought him one other time. He had a big slam attack, wow. He has large, wide attacks. A lot of times it's better just to keep your distance from them. Our daggers also do piercing damage, so I'm not sure it really builds up our stun gauge too much. Our club definitely does though. So he got tired there, and now he is stunned, so we can do quite a bit of damage. But he's already ready to charge at us again. He's got 2 sets of moves. He does that swing attack when you get too close, and he charges you when you're just about medium away. So it's more about recognizing what he's going to do. And now he is enraged. So all of his attacks and abilities, I'm not sure if they do more damage, but they trigger a lot faster. So your window is much smaller. But now that we've seen his full set of moves, it is easier to dodge him and play around him. He's getting tired here, and we stun him right afterwards again. We are building up the bleed just a bit. He's going to do another charge attack. But we're doing 15% more damage. We're probably going to kill him before we get the next stun off. But there's really clear, defined, telegraphed moves. You just may not know what they are the first time you fight them. Another cool aspect of this game and many games is that the monsters you fight initially are the ones you're probably going to fight as mini bosses or bosses, but they're going to have extra movesets. They're going to be similar, but different. These are the little guys right here that were the mini boss that we just fought. So they have a charge up attack, a slam attack, but they don't have that horn, so he doesn't do the spin attack. But it's the same mechanics that we had in the mini fight. So this is our ultimate move with a dagger. We do a launching spin attack. It looks really cool, it does damage, but oftentimes you can get hit while doing it too. So we took off the 2 chargers, and now we just have the spellcaster. And he's pretty easy to deal on his own. And it's a second round of enemies, nice. I think the mushrooms are my least favorite so far, just because they have that double attack. We can keep dancing around the traps, giving him 100 damage each time. I think one more trap's gonna kill him. Oh, he dodged it. Not cool, bro. And that's just us and the Sork, and the Sork can't do anything when we're in melee range. The movesets in this game are really satisfying though. They feel strong and they look really cool. A Judgment. It's an area effect damage that does 10 damage for each stack for 0.5 seconds while they're inside of it. Let's do it with our basic attacks. Every time we basic attack with our swords, which ours is our most common ability, we'll make a little circle and they should be taking damage over time. And these stacks increase the damage they take by 1%. So this is the green mini-boss. He charged up right away swinging at us. That is not good. And he does a leap slam attack too. He is really hard to get distance from. He's almost... he does a spin attack? Man, that guy is so much worse. Gonna eat one of our meats. It's gonna heal us for about 40. And we took a little bit more damage. He's almost stunned though. I'm pretty sure if we can get him into a stun, we can kill him. It's also super annoying to dodge the Sork as well at the same time. Ooh, he tired himself out. Perfect. Do a big slam attack. Give him bleed, and now he's stunned. And we should be able to finish him off. He's becoming enraged, but I don't think it matters. I was hoping the bleed would have killed him. Our attacks are too slow. Sometimes you're locked into the attack animation, sometimes you can break it if you have enough stamina. He does a little burst circle too. One more hit and he should be dead. Well, that enemy is really hard to deal with. I much prefer the big beetles. I used to struggle with the green mushrooms, just the basic form, but I can deal with them pretty easily now.
Shopkeeper, I've only got a few cameras.
And this is the market man. Ooh, we got a trinket as well. Multi-function knife. So we can start our next run with that badge. We can increase the bleed on our heavy attack by 1 second, stacking up to 6 times per room. That is really strong. An extra 6 seconds, more devotion, special attack charges faster. We can get more stamina and more meta currency. Let's get the extra bleed, that just fits our build perfectly. And then let's get the more stamina too. And that's going to be really good for us. It's a really good skill to have for the boss. Because we're going to be fighting them for a long time. And they're going to be bleeding for an even longer time. Now the basic green ones are pretty easy to deal with. They don't have a gap closer. When they charge up, it's kind of more obvious.
On the ground, big guy.
He got stuck in his friend a little bit. They both got hit by that trap. Nice. Ooh, we were too slow on that one. That sucks. That is the drawback to the big club, but it is so satisfying when it actually works out. Getting a big slam off is the same thing with the daggers. Getting a bunch of quick little attacks just feels really good. The katana sort of does similar to the big swing, but it's not as much damage, and it's kind of too slow for my liking, for how much damage it does. And the sword and shield, I'm not really about blocking attacks. I'm just gonna dodge roll in a big circle until they die. Your heavy attacks increases the damage of your next weapon swap. Okay, that's not terrible. Bonus devotion damage, reduces devotion's cooldown. Let's get the swap damage, because oftentimes you're forced to swap when you have no stamina. The damage of the swap isn't a lot, but you're going to be doing that quite often. And the heavy attack of the daggers is when she does that rabbit stab. That's pretty satisfying too, and both of those attacks add bleed. This one's almost done, but he's going to be dead before that. This looks like a multi-room as well. Wow, 560 damage. That charged up attack was awesome. Resources, mossy spikes, or meta progression. I'm at the point where I can see some of the armor, some of the weapons you get, and they look really cool. There's a big set for breaking pieces of off, which I think is stunning. That I'd be really interested in. It just costs a lot of creature parts that I have not grinded out for. But our basic here right now, I think just gives us more max health. It's all red, and it's the one you start with. And most swords and weapons have 3 different abilities, but you only get them after you fully unlock them and upgrade them. So there's a lot of things we don't have access to right now. So we can fight the turtle boss or the shroom boss. And this guy seems like he's going to poison us too. I'd much rather fight the turtle boss. The big beetle. And he's got a massive horn. He also has a bunch of swords sticking in his back.
Don't underestimate
The ancient Rhino Buto. Ooh, he does a big swing attack. That is a massive swing. He does up and then down too. Ooh, it looks like he does the... He's like a combination of both the beetles. Luckily we stunned him there, but the other beetle shoots out blasts from its backside. And he did that as well, that's why we took a bunch of damage. So he's a combination of both beetles. What is that big drag attack, man? That covers so much area. So I really have to dodge to the side when he does that. He's gonna charge in. And now we can do some damage. Let's get charged into the wall. Does seem like we get some good stun bar filling though. Breaking him. Ooh, he did a big swing attack. As long as I can kite around, we can dodge most of his abilities. And he rolled right on top of us. This is not looking good. We're out of food as well. I still think this fight is going a lot better than it would have gone with the Mushroom Man, probably. Down and drag. He's close to being stunned. He's off screen, we can't see him right now. Charge up dash attack. It's gonna do his charge. He tired himself out, which is perfect. Get him into stun. He's enraging. And he's really close to being stunned. Hopefully he'll charge me over here in the corner. Ooh, he did the drag. So we lost our single revive. And now it's just us versus the beetle. We've been stacking the... Nice, he got stunned. We've been stacking the bleed quite a bit. I don't know how high we've gotten it, but he bleeds for a long time. You can see the bar doesn't fall off for quite a bit. Doing his big drag. He's at 1/4 of his health now. He's going to drag into the wall. Gonna do a spin attack. Oh, he did another drag, okay. You can dodge, dodge. It's about at a 5th or a 6th now. Got 19 stacks of poison. And he's taking quite a bit. You can see his health bar just draining. Trying my best to kite around him. I'll let the bleed do the work and just keep it activated. Because he's pretty close to death. The bleed's definitely going to kill him if I don't take more damage. Nice, we got a big charge off. And we got a new badge. Badges also evolve. They level up from 1 to like 4. That's the first time I beat that guy. And we got a special material too. So let's go to the rest area. Ooh, I like this. I mean, that felt pretty good. So let's check out this rest area. We found another badge, the legal code. So already our next run is going to be a lot stronger since we've got a bunch of badges to play with. And the meat healed us and it gave us 2 meats. That's really strong. It looks like we're getting more cash. Let's go on. So we've mainly fought mushrooms and beetles. Now we're fighting little raptors and whatever this thing is with little hands. The bone guy. They all seem to be melee. They're all charging right at me. Ooh, and now there's traps too, nice. The fireball. Not a big fan of that. Killed the mushroom. The other guy is passed out. He was sleeping. Seems like he bashes his head forward. So far these new enemies aren't so bad to deal with. But we'll have to see what else they throw at us. Get more max health. Ooh, there's a wolves now. Looks like a big wolf too. They do a charging attack? They can block the fireballs at least. He does a crescent moon slash. And a charging attack, okay. My daggers, which are penetration damage, do very little to the wolves. Oh, so we're kind of stuck using the big slow attack to attack these very quick creatures in order to do damage. And it's even worse that there's 2 of them. Even the club doesn't seem to be doing that much damage either. Maybe they'll take a bunch of damage after they get stunned. So they have a charge attack, the Crescent Moon Slash, and they should have a 3rd attack as well. I'm gonna eat my meat. Let's get in close after the charge. Ooh, he does a spin attack too, I see. So we finally stunned him. We can focus the big one. He's already up. That stun did not last very long. We were only doing about 11 with the dagger attack. We usually do about 20. Ooh, we crit there for 43. Maybe it just has to build up. The big one enraged. Hopefully we can take the little one down while he's distracted. And now that there's only one, this should be a lot easier. I know his kit now, I can avoid him. He's still going to take a lot of hits though. I hit traps doing a lot of damage. 100 per pop. Avoid the dash, I can get one hit in. Just doing a spin attack. Wow, he avoided my big smash. Dude, come on. He's not hanging around the traps either. He's almost down. This is definitely my least favorite enemy so far. Not because he's hard, but because he just takes a lot of work. You just do such little damage right now. Alright, so we killed him, we got some life. We did lose some meat though. So things could get dire. Thick fur? That's probably from the wolves. Sharp talon? That's from the bird that smashes his head. So you get new ingredients and new parts based on the enemies and the chapters you're in. So we're in the second part right now. I had enough parts last time to unlock this green club. I couldn't afford to upgrade it at all, so it was basically the same as my starting club. Ooh, he does a little bomb attack. He smashes his head in the ground too. But this guy has long stun duration. And he actually takes damage. He's bleeding a lot right now. They all seem to enrage. Shoots a little missile. That's probably the easiest one to avoid. The smash as well. And hopefully we can fight the bird boss. If there's a wolf boss, I don't think we can take that. It's gonna take so long, we're gonna... Ooh, that did a lot of damage. I see how it is. So now we're out of meat. So I think our goal now is to reach the boss. And our next run will be a lot stronger. Let's increase the bleed. We now no longer have a way to heal, and we don't have a revive. So 60 health is all we got. But we also got exposed to new enemies, their attack patterns. So even if we didn't get stronger at all, we should do a lot better against them. It's be a lot easier to recognize all their attack patterns. There are a lot of traps in this area. And they only do 8 damage to us. That big bird smash did like at least 30. Oh, more wolves? Just one wolf. Try to take out the ranged attack while avoiding the wolf. I do like the Dominion, the dropping damage over time. That's pretty awesome. I'm not a big fan of picking up these icons to increase our damage. It increases it by 15% and stacks up to 5 times, but it is a distraction. It's also hard to focus these guys when there's just so many traps everywhere. What bleed could we possibly get now? Our special does bleed, okay. Increases damage by weapon swap. Drop a blood orb from bleeding enemies. Bleed damage is increased. That's not terrible. I think I'd rather just have more ways to proctor bleeding though. So now our special will do it, and we don't actually use the special all that often. The club one's just a big swing. The dagger one's pretty cool though, because it launches you at them. And this is the melee bird, but the elite version of him. His head's a little bit different. He still does a bomb attack though. He's kind of a combination. This attack is pretty easy to dodge though, as long as he's not right next to us. He's almost stunned. And it has a pretty big, clear self-stun animation. We might be able to kill him here if we get a stun off. Because we got the bleed stacks, we get some big hits in. He's enraging, but I'm pretty sure he's dead, yeah. Good luck with that, buddy. So we got some meat back. It's not going to heal us to full, but it's going to give us something. Let's go into the judgment, I suppose.
Come to mama.
Now we're fighting the elite smasher that we just fought, and another bird. It's actually 2 smasher guys, because this is the smaller version of him. Let's So we're back up to 100 health. And every time we use that big heavy swing attack, our bleed is stronger in that room by 1 second. Which can stack up to 6 seconds, and that's a really long time. But this game is really satisfying though. The movement, the attack. Once you get enough stamina, it's not an issue anymore. You can kind of dodge and attack whenever you want to. Because most of the time you're avoiding attacks anyways. So you can't constantly spam it. And you get a big burst. You get at least half your stamina back when you switch out. So it's just us and the big bird. We stunned him while he's enraged. Let's take him down. I think the bleed's gonna kill him. Just run around until he's dead. Nice, you fool. And Judgment's the thing that falls from the sky. I like Judgment a lot. So let's just increase the Judgment damage. And between more cash and health, I'd rather get the health. It'll keep us alive. There should be one more shop before the elite. The actual boss. It's a new enemy, the little flower. I'm not quite sure what he does. I think he was launching little missiles at us though. Why are there a bunch of turret traps right in the middle of the room? Hopefully we can get some, hopefully in the next run we can get some upgrades for our damage. Because the enemies in Act 2 take quite a long time to kill. Gives them a lot of opportunities to hit us. Not to mention all the traps.
Right in the face.
We took a trap, we took a burn damage there. Be easier when there's just one bird. But we still have to be aware of the traps as well. Man, those birds have gotten so much free damage from the traps. It's a good thing it does only 8 damage. And it does 100 to them. It's almost easier just to run around the traps and let them kill. It just takes forever. We can get some good damage off here. Got quite a bit of damage from the traps as well. He got stunned from the trap, you fool. It broke his head off too. His little armored helmet. And he's still enraged though, it didn't stop the enraging. We need to get one more big hit on him. Also, what are these little red circle things? Ah, they are bombs. Since when is that a thing? So we did heal for 25 technically. We get one last merchant, and then usually there's one room after this as well. And then we fight the boss. Oh, there's one more meat room. Nice. Meat or bleed.
A coin.
And we keep finding more badges. Nice. When you hit an enemy affected by bleeding, increase damage of the bleeding by 5% for 5 seconds. That's pretty strong. Heavy attacks can stun opponents. More stamina, more health, more meta progression.
A good investment.
So I'm gonna buy the health, the stamina, and the meta progression. Because I really want to make it to the boss. And we should pick the extra bleed just to see what it does. But I think I'm gonna get the meat again. We've got one more room, maybe 2. And then we fight the... whatever the boss is. Get the green mushroom. I missed you, green mushroom. I took you for granted. Because at least they take damage. And with our stacks, we actually do damage. Also like the little plants, little skulls, because they have like no health. They're really easy to burst down. Let's take out the ranged unit. He is stunned, we can keep doing damage. It's just us and the wolf. I can't imagine there's a third phase. And unlike the first time we fought the wolves, those ones actually took damage. So I don't really know what the difference was. Let's eat our meat and let's move on. Should be 1 or 2 more rooms till the boss. 2 elite mushrooms? A bone guy? See, the bone guy dies in 2 hits. I think he had a good swing off. And I've grown to actually like the mushrooms quite a bit. I do not like the elite mushroom though. Just because he has a lot of gap closers. These guys just get stuck in their attack animation and they just take a ton of damage. So they're really easy to deal with, even when there was 2 of them. And we're fighting the elite wolf, nice. So the elite one still doesn't take a lot of damage, so I had to kite him for quite a while.
That was a close one.
Took out the wolf. Get some hides. And now we have to choose between fighting the elite wolf, which we are definitely not doing, or fighting the boss Rex, which I assume is the bird. It's gonna be more like the, yeah, like the T-Rex. That is kind of what I figured.
Don't let its appearance fool you.
So let's see if we can deal with this guy. Ooh, he does a triple attack. And he puts out bombs on the ground, that's not cool. So I can't even attack him right now. He does a fireball attack as well. Okay. And the big bomb attack. Okay, so he does all of the animations. I think that fireball one is the worst one, because it's just quick and it hits a lot of spaces. Ooh, he slams his head and then he does an area effect damage, I see. But he's stunned for a long time afterwards. We got off some nice damage. So far this doesn't seem too bad. His skills hit a big area though. But besides the tail spread shot, most of it's pretty easy to dodge. Unless he's slamming right in front of our face. So we took 30 damage from that, so we can take 2 more hits. And he's doing the slam back to back to back. And we got another hit from that. I think he arches his back and neck though before he slams. I have to pay attention more to his animations. But we've only got 1 more hit. This boss seems pretty easy though. I'm pretty confident if I got back here I could beat him. We just used all our meat up early on. And we still got quite a bit of damage off on him.
No.
He like stabbed us with his tail there. I think he did the fireballs. Well, that is unfortunate. So we did 115,000 damage. Killed 63 monsters. Our highest hit was 800 damage. I had a blast playing this game, and I think this is the best of its kind that I've seen so far. Well, I hope you enjoyed. If you'd like to see more, let me know. Later.